Richician.
Hey YouTube, Richician84 here, and welcome to Q&A number 5. It doesn't look like this one will be as long as the previous 2 episodes. We'll see how it goes. First question is from A Carter 51. Yugi's deck sort of made it into Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s in a rush duel. What are your thoughts on that? Well, I had to look up the episode and go and find it in order to answer this question. And keep in mind, like, I've not watched Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s since episode 40 because I've just lost interest. So I'm like over 20 episodes behind. Although interestingly, I did see a clip on YouTube titled Dark Magician Girl in Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. So I went to find the episode, and I loved it. Like, I was so hyped to see Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, and Yugi's other monsters as well, but like, again, you know what channel you're on. It is a shame though that it was just a normal, how do I say it, played out normally rather than with dual discs, but I guess it was different and interesting to see. All the same, I loved it. I was just hyped. It's just crazy though that Dark Magician Girl's effect was slightly changed in there. Because for those who don't know, her rush duel effect is that she gains 500 attack points for every Dark Magician in the graveyard. I can't remember though if it said the graveyard or your graveyard. In any case though, it's quite interesting actually. I guess it ties in with the fact that Dark Magician is a legend card, and those things are limited in rush duels. Yeah, it was great. It was nice seeing those again. Most definitely. Then there's 8 questions from Alison Orlowski. Now, the first 7 were posted, but for some reason YouTube deleted the comment, so I had to basically copy and paste the questions that were submitted and repost them. Like, seriously, YouTube, this is getting really annoying now. Stop deleting perfectly good comments. Like, come on now. Like, Matt and Alison always leave nice, meaningful comments. Like, and they're really nice people. Stop deleting their comments. This is actually pissing me off now. Anyway, going back to the questions. So, like I said, she submitted 8 questions, so here they are. Questions from both Matthew and myself. Also, your advice on the Karibo deck has been a huge help. Thank you very much. Well, glad I could do what I can. 1. Which classic boss monster would you like to see get support next? I would like to see, before Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever comes to an end, Gate Guardian support and Zoa support. I do agree with you about Gate Guardian. That thing just never got support at all, and it's just so difficult to summon, like requiring 3 2 tribute monsters. Like, it's just awkward. Like, I feel like the easiest way to even bring it out is play them in a pendulum deck that can pendulum summon level 7 monsters, but even then you still need to have all 4 cards in hand, is no way to access them. So yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. Although I would also like to see Summoned Skull get more support. I mean, I like what we do have so far, but I feel like there could be a bit more. Maybe even a Pendulum and Link version of Summoned Skull. Like, that'd be cool to see. Just having the same effect as all the others, where it's treated as Summoned Skull while on the field or in the graveyard, and floats for a Summoned Skull when it gets popped. Yeah, I think that would be cool. 2. Request Duel. Your Dark Magician deck versus Express Gaming's Dark Magician deck. Well, here's the thing about that. Normally, I love a Dark Magician mirror match as much as anyone. And I would happily do this, but there's one problem though. Express Gaming plays 2 cards in his Dark Magician deck that just really frustrate me and really piss me off. Red Eye's Dark Dragoon and Magician's Right Hand. Everyone knows how much I absolutely despise Dragoon, so much so that it's my most hated card in the game right now. And Magician's Right Hand is just really infuriating. I don't like not being able to play my spells, 'cause I usually play spell-heavy decks, and if I can't play my spells, then I can't play, basically. I mean, yeah, the negate from Right Hand is mandatory, but if there's multiple negates on the field, it doesn't really matter. Not when it comes to Endymion or Pendulum Magician, at least. Or in this case, a Dark Magician mirror match. Not that they really play any negates, depending on the build. But yeah, even if Magician's Right Hand isn't an issue, Dragoon is. Like, there are not enough words to describe how much I hate that card and just don't want to deal with him, and would love it more than anything when it comes to the ban list for that fucker to get banned. But it's dodged the list too many times now for my liking that I'm just losing faith that it ever will. That being the case, I don't like denying people requests, but as long as Dragoon and Magician's Right Hand are around, I really don't want to do it. I'm sorry. Unless, of course, Express Gaming is willing to make a gentleman's agreement and either just not play either of those cards or just take them out. But even if it's just for this game, of course, if Dragoon ever did get banned, that would be a different story. And I would be all on that mirror match, most definitely. 3. Out of all the Dark Magician artworks there are, can you tell us which order your most favourites to least favourites? Yeah, first of all, let's get some light in here so you can see them. So, most to least. Well, I mean, all the artworks are pretty good. I mean, there's no artwork that I hate. But I have arranged that list. So, starting from most to the least. Well, obviously, everyone should know by now that this is my most favourite artwork of Dark Magician, the one that's used in the anime. By the way, this is the DDS one, and yeah, it's seen better days. the edges are kind of worn here. There's a crease which obviously will make collectors cry, but I didn't do that, okay? It was like that when I got it, okay? If I was the original owner, it would not be in this condition. Trust me on this. I like this one the most because, well, it's what I started out with, and it's just simply the best, and no one can tell me otherwise. It's the most iconic artwork, and the most preferred one, which is why I use it in my Dark Magician deck, and Magician Girls, and Random All-Stars, and Legendary Hero. My second favourite would have to be the dual power one. Like, I do kind of like the pose. If I was to choose an artwork I prefer other than my favourite, it would probably be this one. Good pose, good artwork, stays very, very similar to my favourite artwork, although it's more like the Legend of Blue Eyes one. I still like it all the same. Probably play it in a deck that's not focused on Dark Magician, like Magician Girls, for instance. I don't know. That was something else I forgot to mention. Magician Girls. The third favourite would have to be this one, and by the way, this is a Legend of Blue Eyes print, first ed. I've got 4 of these in first ed. Another of the original artworks. I have mixed opinions about the green skin, but again, it's a very nostalgic, iconic artwork, which again most players would have started out with. I mean, it's really all there is to it, really. Fourth on the list is this one, the Dark Side Dimensions movie pack printing. It doesn't look too much like the original, I guess, but yeah, the look is still there. It's pretty cool and different. I mean, the black is quite nice, or is that grey? Or just dark blue? I'm not sure. I guess it's greyish, bluish. It's just a cool action shot. Again, somewhat similar to this one, but there we go. Then I would say it's this one, which is Express Gaming's favourite artwork. I mean, yeah, it does look a little bit plain. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's still cool that you have the Dark Magical Circle at a diagonal angle, like a Dark Magician is kind of spinning it, about to cast a powerful spell. Just with that look of intimidation, I rate that. So the next one is the Shonen Jump print, where it's been described as Batman in a gimp suit. Don't ask. I mean, again, it doesn't look like the Dark Magician I know, but I still think it's really cool, and it's got Kazuki Takahashi's signature. I like that. You wouldn't think, would you, that it looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card? No. It's just awesome. kind of has a nice gothic look to it, which I appreciate because I'm part goth. You wouldn't think it, since sometimes I wear colourful clothes, but again, that's why I say I'm part goth. Yeah, I like it. So we're down to the last two, and the second least favourite is probably this one. Don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or not, but if it is, don't come at me, everyone. It's just an opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks great. Like, I'm not saying I hate it or anything, but the reason why it's so low is because it's the most overused one. It's been used far too much for my liking. Within all the legendary collections, the starter decks and structure decks that it was in, Duelist Pack Yugi, Dragons of not Dragons of Legend. What am I thinking of? The legendary Dragon decks. Dark Beginnings 1. This is a Dark Beginnings 1 printing, in case you didn't know. Again, I don't know about the green skin, and the fact that there's it looks very different from what I've seen in the anime, but yeah, it's still cool. I like the pose. I like that the ancient stone tablet is behind it. So it is great, but I prefer all the other ones I've listed so far, and it's the most overused one. That's all I'm saying about it. And of course, the least favourite has to be the red one, purely because it's the evil one that Arcana uses. That's not the only reason behind it. This is not the Dark Magician I know. It's not the same servant of the Pharaoh, you might say. I mean, again, I'm not saying I hate it or anything. It does look great, but look how creepy he is as well. And why does he have no pupils? Wait. Unless... Hold on. Or does he? Hold on. I think he actually does. Yeah, I can see pupils. How the hell did I not notice that before? To be fair, it's very hard to tell. You'll have to find an image on the internet somewhere and zoom in, but just right there, under the middle of my fingertip nail thing. Obviously you're not going to see it because camera quality, but damn, that's crazy. Don't know why I never noticed that. Sorry, hair was in mouth. 4. What do you think of the new Destiny hero support in Burst of Destiny and Brothers of Legend, and will you be adding them to your Destiny hero deck? I'll definitely be adding the cards from Burst of Destiny, which I'm pretty sure I did mention in a previous episode. As for the stuff in Brothers of Legend, I think I probably will play Dr. D, mainly for its Monster Reborn effect. I don't know about D-Force though. I'll still get it for my hero collection regardless. But if feels more like it would be better in a deck solely based on Destiny Hero Plasma. Maybe something I could play in my Destiny End Dragoon deck, which plays 3 copies of Plasma, even though the idea is to use it and Dogma as a fusion material to go into Dragoon. I'm closing this cursor, the sun's in my eye now. The stuff in Burst of Destiny definitely looks great, and awesome, and absolutely worth playing, most definitely. 5. Do you think we will ever get a new summoning mechanic with a new extra deck monster? I really hope we don't, because there is no way players can add more to such a small limit. And also, as much as my husband and I love Yu-Gi-Oh!, it has changed far too much and wish they kept it the way it was after Yu-Gi-Oh! Zeal ended and before Arc 5. Again, I absolutely agree with you. I really don't want another new summoning mechanic in the game. The game has just changed and evolved far too much, and not for the better. I mean, if anything, I just wish it was kept the way it was after GX, because, as an old school duelist and a original series and GX fan, I very much preferred the way the game was before synchros came into the game, which I have said a few times before. 5D's fans will probably have a huge difference of opinion here. I mean, don't get me wrong, 5D's was good, and I'm not saying I hate synchros, although there are several synchros I do hate, but not all of them. I'm just simply saying that I preferred the way things were before synchros even existed. The game was just easier and a lot more fun, besides priority. It was great. Whoever goes first could still draw turn 1, although I know that rule didn't change until before Pendulums came up. Even so, fusions were the only extra deck monster in existence, and there was no limit on how many you could play, which was an absolute dream for Elemental Hero players, me included. It was ridiculous having a fusion deck bigger than the main deck, but who the hell cares? And I agree about the limit as well. Again, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I still think 15 isn't enough, and that it should be bumped up to 20. It's just so hard for some players to be able to fit in absolutely everything they want into the extra deck. I mean, sure, they could argue that would be bad, but again, I disagree, because I believe I said this before, but I strongly believe that no matter how good your deck is or how consistent it is, you are never ever going to physically summon every single monster in your extra deck. It's impossible. There's no way it can be done, regardless of whether the limit is 15 or would be at 20. Right, there was one case though where, when I used my Raid Raptors in the very first Raid boss game, I did summon every single monster in the extra deck, but that wasn't a normal duel though, and there were more life points involved, so that doesn't count. If it was a normal game, it would have been over long before I summoned every single monster in the extra deck. Anyway, I digress, but I'm pretty sure I covered the answer quite well there. 6. Out of the new Dark Magician support that is coming out for Dark Magician, which one is your most favourite? Matt thinks the fusion looks really awesome, despite the effect not being a quick effect, and I myself love Magicaribo. Yeah, that's a tough one at the moment. I don't have a particular one right now, but as it stands at the moment, Magicaribo, Illusion of Chaos, and Tomorris the Dragon of Destiny are the ones I like the most. Absolutely. I look forward to playing those, most definitely. I still don't know how many of everything I'm gonna play. I was trying to figure it out while just on Edo Pro the other day, but it's just so hard. Hopefully I'll have a better idea nearer the time of the card's release. 7. Have you ever thought about making a Jinzo deck? As a matter of fact, I did. I have thought about it a couple of times, and I guess that wouldn't be a surprise because Jinzo is my favourite machine type monster and an old school boss monster. However, I just can't be bothered. I feel like it would be a bit too much hassle, and I have been trying not to build any more decks, because it takes a lot of trades and money depending on what it is, but somehow I keep getting tempted to build new ones that I've never made before, or bring back older ones. There have been many attempts to try and stop doing this and cut down on the number of decks I have, but it hasn't worked out. As it stands, there's no plans for me to make a Jinzo deck. Express Gaming might, though, because he does have a lot of the cards, but he hasn't said anything about it recently. But at the moment, I myself am just trying to get the last few bits for Hands of Danger and play it the way I want to play it. I still don't even have any giant hands for that deck. And also, I want to finish off Poker Knights with the new support still, and I'm working on building the GOAT format Elemental Hero deck, Legendary Knights, and Gaia Knights. I don't know how long it'll take me to put those together. Oh yeah, and there's the Joey Zane and Asta character decks. But those are the last few that I would like to build. Because I'm still trying not to build anything new, just focus on stuff that I'm working on at the moment and building up incomplete collections and picking up thumbnails for dual videos. I need a copy of Eldritch the Golden Lord, because I did play against that deck for the first time ever 2 weeks back, but I don't have any Eldritch cards. The best bet would be to pick up the gold rare one, because to hell with picking up the secret rare. Damn that. Anyway, last question. 8. If Elemental Hero support ever comes to core sets again, what kind of support would you like to see? I want to see Elemental Hero Clay Guardian actually be made into a real card. I would also like to have a Monster Reborn for Elemental Hero Fusion monsters. And last but not least, I want to see Burst Impact be made into a real card. My favourite Elemental Hero card, favourite hero monster, and second favourite card next to Harpy Lady, Elemental Hero Burstinatrix. Well, to be honest, I can't really think of any other cards I'd want to see for them, really. Honestly, the only support I'd want them to get is for the extra deck limit to go from 15 to 20. Damn it. But yeah, Clay Guardian and Burst Impact would be nice to see as real cards. Honestly, I can't really think what else there is. They've just got so much. It's hard to think. Although, as much as I love the elemental heroes, it's one of those archetypes which maybe has more than enough support now. Just like Dark Magician and Blue Eyes White Dragon. I personally just want to see support for Light Rays, Summon Skull, Masked Heroes. That's all I can think of, really, that I'd want to see. And that is it for questions in this episode. Okay, so it did take longer than I thought it would. So yeah, thank you very much for your guys' questions. They're always appreciated. And if you have any other questions you would like to see, just post them in the comments down below. Remember, I do these episodes every Tuesday afternoon UK time or evening, so be sure to get your questions in before then so that you don't miss out. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.